Hi, this is ADampSponge, and this is a little, I don't really know what to call it, but a little something something on me and D&D. I started playing D&D like, I don't know, I want to say 2018 or something, and it's been a wild couple of years since then. So, yeah, I've got quite addicted to it, to the point where when I play D&D, I can't take the D&D Beyond website. It not customizable enough. Everything's too complicated under menus, and I don't know. I mean, it's been a couple of years since I looked at it, but last time I looked at it, it was awful. So this is what I do instead. So I'll scroll down, scroll up. I'll be showing you a little bit about what like a spreadsheet like this takes. They're honestly not that hard, and I mean, if I show a little bit now, it's if people want to make their own, that would be good. I do have 3 different versions right now up. All of these either will be or have been used, and all of them look just a little different. And that's mainly because everyone has different requirements. So one thing to look at is like warlock spells. I mean, you don't need levels. You just need a list of how many spells per day you can cast. Versus this wizard one, which not high level, but we have a whole chart for them of it, so they can eventually just fill out everything they have. So this document's also not. I mean, I helped make it, but this is not my character. This is my friend's. He's playing like a conjuration ASMR wizard who's like they went like the fallen angel type of route. So yeah, it's interesting. So this is the character I'm playing alongside that character right now. He's a warlock gnome. So, hey, I'm tired and stuff. It's a little late, but I've been kind of thinking about just using my time to make YouTube videos now. So we'll see where all that takes me. So, but he's he's like his patrons, kind of like what do I want to say? I don't know. I'll tell you more about the character later. Honestly, I'll make a whole separate video going over characters. Because I have it's like 80 something different characters. I've only been like 5-ish campaigns. So I do have an addiction to making a character, whether or not it's going to be used or not. And I should probably display that information to maybe help other people out in figuring out their characters. So let's see what I didn't really put any thought into to how this video is gonna go. Um, maybe next time. I'm using some sort of like Chrome paint tool for Chrome, so that was the first pop up I've actually seen on it, which is not very kind. So, but to show you what goes into to a sheet like this is a lot of code-esque type stuff. I say code-esque because it's like it's not super challenging, but you kind of need to generally know what everything means. And trust me, you don't type out half this garbage. I say garbage, but it's, you know, the foundation of my spreadsheet. So, and this down here, these are different tabs and stuff. A little useful if you want to separate information. You don't have to. It can all just be on one sheet. If you really want, if everyone in your party is into having a sheet like this, you could all just have every character down at the bottom. Holy shit, I'm tired. Oh, maybe it's just I haven't been like talking and active tonight, and now that I am putting energy into something, I'm like wasting away. Anyways, let's actually get into it. I think I've stalled long enough. Something I highly recommend is this setup. I like the current look of it. In previous iterations, this was not there. Well, oh, no, actually, let me that was not there. This was its own box, and temp HP was not really a thing. It was just more like how do I want to say it? Just something you did on the fly, because it only lasts like one round anyways. But I mean, it's just more of a reminder. Also, this damage and healing thing works, and the number for health changes. Now here's the thing. There's only so much that you can put into a spreadsheet. So I mean, if you put 1,000 health in, you're gonna have 52 times the amount of HP that you're supposed to. So yeah. So you kind of have to remind yourself of that, and if you ever like equal out, like you ever heal to full, at that point is where you either just clear everything, or you only write down the healing that goes actually like into your health bar. Otherwise, it just kind of breaks it a little. So let's see. There's that. There's, I mean, little boxes are nice. For, you know, armor, initiative, speed. I believe over here in the spore one, yeah, because he's like a mix between spells and melee. He gets both his 2-hit melee and 2-hit spell, and his DC. He just has a lot more like shit I need available to me for my rolls. So you know, that's why these are a little different. This Spore Druid one's also very new. If you look, it's a lot cleaner, personally, is what I think. At least for now. I don't have spell slots and wild shapes. Those will probably go here in some capacity. That's probably what they'll look like. Well, no, it's... And wild shapes are only 2 things. This is my backup character, by the way. So that's why it's kind of like not fully fledged out. But I mean, I'm gonna need a small section for wild shapes, and I'll probably have similar to the other one, like a gridded box for spells. I don't get very many spells either, because I'm also multi-classing fighter. So my spells for the first like 8 to 10 levels drop off at like level 1, maybe a level 2 spell. But that's okay. So, one thing I would like to point out is this box is very, personally, I think it looks very clean. You can see how these rows are set up here. How you go, thin, wide, thin, wide, thin, wide. That's a very good structural scheme. If you want to do that, you can click on these and they highlight the entire row. And if you hold control, you can click individual ones. Or if you click one and you hold shift, it clicks everything in between. Very useful. So you can also click this one and it just clicks everything. That's why everything, okay, I guess down to there, that's where I gave up. But if you wanted to change all the background colors, that's how you'd do that. So, but yeah, this whole setup, it's a little bit mixture of, because I have these, I like these spacers in between them, and then I also needed like a large amount of size for like the inventory space, so those can just be like merged cells. This button is to quick merge. Otherwise, you can go to Format, Merge Cells, Merge All. And those are all the cells that you've selected. So, there'll be a couple tips and tricks and stuff in here about spreadsheets. Maybe I'll do more in-depth thing. They're very useful, honestly. I highly suggest, if you don't use spreadsheets already, that you get to learning. So maybe that'll be on my future video plans. I like them a lot. I use them for everything. I've got 10 million spreadsheets. I probably only look at like 5 of them per month. A lot of them I make and then just forget about them. So, yeah. But this one also has, never mind, apparently I had broken the code for this. Let's see. I guess this is a good point to show you how health code works. Basically, you select the 2 rows. How do I want to say this? No. So the first thing you select is this. That is the like starting number. Let's see. Yes. Over here are the ranges. This one is healing. You can tell because the color here, and then when you select on it, it highlights. But that's that selected range. When you select on this, that's that selected range. They're usually color coded. It's very nice. If something ever says something sheet in like apostrophes, I think they're sometimes quotation marks, but when I did them, it's just apostrophes. And then the little exclamation mark where it is, that is information on another sheet, which that information is on the info sheet. So what looks like I did, and now you might be saying, hey, you wrote this, how do you not know where it is? I rewrite sheets like these weekly. Like, I mean, you can see my first iteration, not first, quote unquote, for like this one was just before this one. I've made several of these, probably way too many of these. And sometimes in between, like rearranging stuff, like code gets fucked up, so you really need to check something. If you're gonna move anything, you need to check that all the functions work, because there's a lot of zeros in here. No, I have 2 zeros. That's why there's so many zeros. Do I have any blue or gray zeros? No, I don't. But there's a purple too, which means I have yes. So, anyways, these info sheets are my information that you don't need constant access to, or like the way to edit information. So there's a level. When I change level, proficiency also changes, or at least should. Let's see. Yeah. And these scale appropriately too. So like 16, still 5. 17 turns to a 6. I think I'm actually level 2 in this. Which means I need to change some stuff too. I wrote all this for a level 1 character. This campaign's at level 2. Yeah, you see how much like Upwork is in this? It's not the funnest. Anyways, this is the code that gets you it. You just copy it. Copy this word for word. Honestly, ceiling, parentheses, and then the cell that has like the level, like where you are typing the level at, and then say divided by 4 plus 1. So that code I did have to look up because I wasn't gonna fucking okay, if you wanted to do it the hard way, you could just like have your number and then say equal and then be like, oh hey, click on that cell. Yep, that's there now. And then you're like, well, how do I get that there to be a 2 in there? And then you just basically brute force it. I'm sure there's slightly smarter ways. This is the way if I needed to figure it out, would do it. But you know what? You know it's easier than that? Google. Because most likely someone has figured stuff out before. It's very rare to get to a problem nowadays, and you be the first person to ever run into it and need to make the solution. So I would say if you run into a problem with sheets, Google. Easy answer. So, let's see. I'm probably gonna make a second version of this video that I have like an outline to follow because I'm scatterbrained right now because I'm just looking at these buttons. I'm like, oh, they probably need to know. If you want these clickable buttons, you just go to insert and insert checkbox. That's all you need. Very nice. These are very nice. If you want to know how to color them, I think it's text color is what it is. Yes, those are considered text for some reason. So I don't know how to change what the check mark is or if it is there or not. That would be probably just inserting a different form of checkbox. But basically what the checkbox does also is give you a true false, like true if box is filled, false if box is empty. So if we come over here and look at these, it adds the original modifier and then you say plus, and then since it's like a conditional statement, you say if, and then you say the cell that you're like looking at equals, and then what you want it to be, and then you're gonna give a semicolon, and then there's gonna be 2 options here. You can only write 2. You're gonna write a true statement, false statement. So if it equals this, which for our like thing is the word true, which is a little confusing because these are 2 different like true false statements that we're using inside of each other, which is a little confusing. Maybe next time, app. I don't want to write. I don't want to uninstall you. You work very nice, but you are bothering me. Anyways, I'm just gonna draw a little visual aid. This box gives two answers: true, false, and these answers are checked by the code, which I'm just gonna put in parentheses because those are what you just use for the code. And then this one just says, if, and then if it is the statement, if equal to, and I'm just gonna put an X right now. And then you have two things. This one is the true statement. This one is the false statement. Two completely unrelated ones, because this is that. These are completely separate. I hope that this makes more sense as I'm drawing it, because it's the only reason I'm going back over this over and over is because I've used a true false statement inside of a true false statement, and I just want you to know that they're just completely different things, So like this X doesn't need to be true. You could put it as the number 9, and if this statement looks at another cell and if the number 9 is there, then it'll write whatever you write in this section. So let's just say like 13. So if there's a 9 in the first box, this box will then say 13. If not, if any other number, letter, whatever's in that, then it'll say, if I write a 0 in here, then it will always just be 0. So hopefully that kind of helps. I know this I don't know if it's exactly a tutorial. It's more just a peek into the mind of a madman just fucking throwing shit together for D&D. But I hope that this helps someone at some point try to manage their D&D well, quote unquote, I'm gonna say. Anyways, let's go back to the statistic gnome, because all this shit should work. I say should because I break shit all the time because I'm constantly moving it. And usually when you move stuff in D&D, like non-D&D, I'm fucking up my words right now. Anyways, I'm going to show you two completely separate things and the consequences they have. If I Control C and Control V and copy and paste it, this information, even though it's like identical to like this, oh god, holding Control while scrolling is not what I want. Anyways, even though this information looks like this information, spreadsheets see these as two completely different things. Alright, so if you ever like want to move this info, but it has code in it, it will consider it completely separate code somewhere else. But if you select all of it, right click and say cut, or I guess Control X is the shortcut for it. It's nice that it shows you those. And you come down here and you Control V to paste. You'll notice these cells have gone to the original state of what the cells look like, because you have physically ripped that information out of the cells, moved them, and any code in here will then change to like redirect stuff, if that makes sense. Let me show you. Let me draw you a little thing. So like if you look at the armor, and armor looks at dex, or at least this one does, because I'm currently wearing armor. Um, uh, so if I were to copy this and want to like move it down here, you know, I would have to cut and paste it. And if I cut and paste it, it still looks at Dex up here. But if I copy and paste it, it no longer looks up at Dex, if that makes sense. Like the code will change with the amount of like cells that you've moved it. So, yeah. Let's see, there's that. I guess I should actually show the armor. Ah, shit. Oops. I also fart kind of weird if you heard me fart right there. But I will leave those in because they're kind of funny. So, anyways, here's my armor thing. It's very fucked looking. I have a button that turns on if I have a shield or not. This is the code I have for it. It looks at base armor, which I have a write-inable base armor. And the number that you write in there is like the armors. Like, if you have light armor, it would be like an 11 through 12. If you have a medium, it's gonna be like a 13 through 15. And a heavy, it can just be like a flat, like 18. I have a bonus AC thing. I have this in there because this one I originally wanted to be like how do I want to say that? I want this document to be like applicable to magic users, non-magic users. You could check a box and information just pop up and disappear depending on what class you're using. And you know what I realized? That's a terrible idea. Just make individual ones. It's so hard to make information come up and go away as you need. It's just, if it's just there, it's there type of thing. So if you have a class where you have like a feat that gives you armor, or like a fighting style that gives you armor, I would have a like separate section to write that down so you can like visualize that's my armor, that's my bonus AC that's like based on like a conditional, if you're only wielding one weapon, if you're wielding armor that's not heavy, with like the marine or something. That's what that is. This little if statement is another checkmark box one. That's the shield one. And then plus, and then I have this neat little drop down thing. It says unarmored, but it should say what your armor scales off of. When I was gonna do two of them, when I was gonna do this, fuck, what do I want to say? When I was gonna do the scaling section for armor, I was gonna have two different sections. So you can have dexterity for like all your normal armors, but what happens if you need wisdom or intellect? If you're a monk or an artificer. So that's why I made this. These aren't that hard to make either. They're just like the other things where you go insert and you do where are you? Drop down. So you do drop down and then you go in here and you hit the add button, and the add button brings up a bunch of columns. You can write them in, you can like rearrange them. I also have none in case you don't have armor proficiency and you just want 10 AC. But there's probably an easier way to do that, Oh god. Please don't do that. Please get out. Oh god. Oh god, why is everything get out data available. Thank you, god. Go. No, maybe next time. Never next time, honestly. I'm never gonna do it, but stop it. Anyways, so that I have the dexterity one. So this isn't a so like I was saying earlier, if you have a class that scales off of multiple, just do this section twice, which also means that in your armor statement, you need this section twice. No, is that? No. What? No. What? How does it know how to add two? Hold up. No. What? No. That's that. That's that. This is shield. Reference character sheet. Oh, okay. Okay. I have. This code is wrong for the dexterity. This just looks at the previous sheet and says add the dex modifier. That's all it's doing. That is not the. Okay. Do I actually have. Maybe he did it. This guy, fucking. My friend, I made this whole thing. This guy just has, like, he typed in the armor thing. He didn't care that there was code there. He was just like, fuck you, I'm just gonna type it in because this confuses me. Does this work? No, it doesn't. Oh, it's not even there. Oh, so at what point did I have that? Who has that? In one of my sheets, that works. Oh, no. Well, okay. 5-minute coding adventure. Let's go. If you want this part to work, it has to be an if statement. So you have to go if, click on the if. Fucking dexterity. If dexterity. No. That's wrong. If this cell equals dexterity. The word dexterity. I think actually you need it in quotations, because if anything's in code here, yes. If anything's in code, it'll glow in pretty colors. That's the real way that you know if something's working is if it has a pretty color on it. Now, does that mean that it's going to the right place? No, who knows? I mean, the colors will match up if it does. Very nice feature. But otherwise, who knows? Is it colon or semicolon? Semicolon. Just do two. Whoa, whoa. No. Okay. So what that was I accidentally put a colon instead of a semicolon. And let me just show you what the difference is. The difference is between these just being two numbers between, okay, so if it's like a semicolon, the spreadsheet just is like, okay, it's just two random numbers. But you swap that semicolon out for a colon, it's like, dear God, you want me to highlight all of like row 1 and row 2? That's not what we want to happen. And now there's still a yellow box up there, which scares me. Anyways, so you do 1 and 0. Boom. And you'll notice how this is now 14 instead of 13. That's because it's this plus if statement is looking at that cell, reading the word dexterity, and if it's true, it adds. If it's not, it doesn't. And what you're basically going to do is copy and paste this over and over, and then just change the word dexterity to, wisdom, intelligence. There's not a lot that armor scales off of, so Oh, Constitution. If you're what, fucking barbarian, is that what they get? I think that is what they get. Yeah, I think that is what they get. Anyways, so that's what you do if you want this like customizable like change on the go one, or if not, if it's just for like a solo character, don't even fucking care about this. This is a nothing thing. Should hardly even be there. Anyways, I think that's armor done. Check mark. I should be check marking everything I go over. Whoops, drew there. Oh wait, but if I go back, no, you just stay on my screen. You don't. Oh, okay. There's two different drawing apps I've used before. Apparently, this isn't the right one. This one just draws on your screen. There's a separate one that remembers web pages, and when you draw on like a certain part of a web page and you click to another section of it, it remembers that you want that drawing specifically on that web page. It uses a shit ton of memory. It's, if you use it a lot, you probably shouldn't be. But, if you're taking like notes for something or another and you want, like, you really need to remember stuff, you can use that drawing tool. I wish I could remember what it's called. I think it also lets you leave sticky notes there too. That was really nice. I used that in college. So, anyways, armor's checked off. Fuck you. No. Anyways, these are important if you do the wizard thing. Or if you do the melee thing, you definitely want your 2-hit for melee. Okay, well I could have just shown you this. This is the same code as before, where it's saying if it's, intellect, wisdom, charisma. This is backwards. Don't listen to this. The second one is the false one. The first one is the true one. So none of that really works, except for probably the charisma one. Hopefully. Yeah. I can't be rolling too well. No, that does add charisma. Why do you add charisma if you're backwards? Am I backwards? I don't know. This is freaking me out. I was pretty sure the right thing goes first, but in this one the false thing goes first, and it still counts it. Is it because it's a 0? That'd be very, very interesting if it looks at the code and it reads the 0 as the negative thing and the section as the positive, which is very interesting why you would be allowed to break what I think is the rule. Hold up. Let's do this. Let's just, if this equals 6, and then I want you to type 1. He does type 1. Or do 0 if it's false. Yeah, why? These two, what? No. Why are you backwards? This piece of code is bullshit. I don't like you. Go away. Anyways, this is something else I do though. It's writing down what your base number rolls were. By the way, we rolled fucking hot on this one. Both me and the other guy fucking. This is what this is for. Very easy code. Just sum up all your skill points and then subtract 8 times 6, because 8 is like the base, like score if you were to pick stats that you start at, and then 6 for how many stats you have. Yeah. And that tells you how many points above whatever 8 times 6 is. 48. Yes. But I'm 42 points above 48, which is very interesting because if you pick stats in D&D, you pick 29 stats, which is way below that. Like, way below that. You want to see some other funky numbers, actually? If you add... Okay, no. We do this in brackets. So if you do 20, which is the maximum score that you can get, times 6, 120. So that's the maximum score. If you got 20s in all slots, you got 120 points. Minus, the 8 times 6. I know someone's probably like, just write the number. This just leaves a line of accountability, so I know where that number comes from. It's very helpful. I know it's technically more code, and if you're making video game stuff and you want to streamline something where you're like referencing numbers, even then people often do because I think in like Java and shit, if you do like exclamation mark before a sentence, or you do like parentheses something dark side, if you do that, then you can write a little note, and they always do that so they can remind themselves, this is why this number is here. So those are kind of the rules I'm following on doing this. But if you want 20s though, across the board, this number would be 72. Which just shows you how, like, I got damn close. But I mean, not really. I'm 30 points away. I'm just above 50%. And that's with race too. Subtract 3 from that, so I got like a 39. So, that's just kind of interesting. This character got 50 some percent. Actually, I could probably just figure it out. Was it 42 divided by 72? 58.3 repeating percent. Pretty damn close to good. I mean, if someone got like higher stats than that as a DM, I would say that's goddamn bullshit, but whatever happens. So, yeah. So there's that. This. Some people might notice this information is just repeated information that's up here. And you might say, hey, why would you have 2 different sections that each figure out the same math? And it's to just make sure that I don't if something's wrong, I don't want to have to flip between screens. I mean, I need this information here to reference on a daily basis. But if I thought the programming for one of these buttons wasn't there, I would have to click the button, come over here, see the number, come over here, unclick it, come back over here, and make sure it's the same number. That's way too many steps. It's a lot easier to put all the same math over here and just let auto calculate for me. So that's something to think about. It's mainly for when you're writing these. It's nice. So, not required though. You could take it out afterwards if you really want. You could just do that by just coming up here and deleting. Where's the word delete? There it is. Delete column. And it slides everything together. Looks nice. You know what? I want it there. You know, this is cool to look at. If I put this at 20, bam, you can see all my proficiencies go up with those. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure I already showed. Oh, I'm pretty sure I already showed that math. And then this math just. Wait. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I lied earlier then, because this math is just looking at the other sheet. It just looks at these numbers and tells me what they are, which is basically doing the same thing. So it's not doing the same math. It's just a mirror reflection of what that cell is, which is nice. Let's see, what have we done? We've done this. Also, the color coding. A little tidbit for the color coding before we move on. I just, hit Control so you can select multiple things, and then select the fill thing. Otherwise, you just have to select one, fill, choose the right color, come back over here, choose the right color, come back over here, choose the right color, and instead of just doing the same thing over and over, just do it all at once. Those aren't always like apparent things that you can do. It's just like one of those, like, when you make a spreadsheet, you have to really use your mind to be like, dear God, am I gonna rewrite the same number 10 times over? Am I gonna be smart enough to just like multiple boxes and drag boxes down to copy the information? Anyways, I got my proficiencies. I've got my saving throw proficiencies. These can be colored too. I just happen to not. And I mean, I get one thing I'll get into a little bit more here in a few minutes is like positioning. Like, I put all the stat stuff next to each other, and it looks relatively good, unlike that box I just drew. But if you might say, hey, as a barbarian, I don't make saving throws that often, so you want that info down here. That's fine. The cool thing about this, completely customizable. You could put everything on a separate page if you wanted. Be a pain in the ass to get any info, but life is as easy or as hard as you make it. So, anyways, I do that. I do things I want to reference. I said I was going to talk about this in a few minutes, but I guess I'll talk about it now since I'm thinking about it. Anything I want to reference in combat or in like day-to-day D&D. I say day-to-day, but I mean like game day. So right here. So if you need to reference your armor, you need to reference your speed, your current health. This is also technically related, but it's more of like a thing that you can type numbers into and shit happens. Which is why I also put that next to it, because it's, if you have your HP somewhere, if you have something that edits your HP, it should be nearly touching it. So you don't have to, like, if your HP was over here and your shit to edit was over here, you're looking here, and then looking here, and then looking here, and then looking here. That's too much for your eyes. Don't let your eyes do that. Instead, I just go whoop, 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 whoop. And if it's a really long battle, I go whoop, 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 whoop. That makes sense. Anyways, so there's that. There's inventory. This was the first way I was drawing the inventory. Mainly because I should find the sheet somewhere sometime. Probably not this video. You'll see it later though. This inventory looked different. It had number of items over here, and it had the weight of items because I had a campaign where we had inventory weight, and so you could add individual item inventory weight, which was nice. it's like, or for the concept that was having, it was nice. The other ones, like over here, where I have the like itemized inventory next to the general inventory, this is a lot more like space saving, and I kind of think it looks a lot better. Some people might say like, oh, this number, you might get confused and think it goes over here. I mean, that's what the lines are for, you know? So don't be dumb. Anyways, but I put like my footage of hand rope, my rations, my torches. This guy has 2 battle axes, so I like to remind him that he's got 2. These aren't really numbered, but you know, they're things I care about for this character versus the garbage that he gets to start with, you know. So, also I like that the money's down here and that everything is it's all you know, color coordinated. So, unlike over here where it's just the regular. Also, something it's only happens over here because this is like an edited version of an older sheet, is when you click into this, you'll notice it just says a number. When you click out, it says gold piece, silver piece. This is a really neat thing that you can do if that's the format you want. If this is a format that you're okay with, you could just do this. The only problem with doing it the other way is that there's these like spacers, and I didn't want the spacers in between the you know, the money. I kind of wanted the money bunched together. That's just the way I wanted it to look. So, you know, so the way I did that was I went to format, number, add a custom currency. I think that's the way I did it. Yes, it is. Add custom currency, type in the currency you want to do. You'll notice LB is here. That was when I was doing the weight formulas. And if you do this, there's 4 different ways to do this. Whatever this option is, even though it looks nothing like over here, this will say like at the end of the like word. No, it should be this one of these. I don't know. One of these just mean that at like the end of the word it'll put it, and the other's like at the beginning of the word. And the reason that there's 2 is because there's like, do you add the 2 closest decimal points, or do you not add the 2 closest decimal points? And that's what those mean. I'm just gonna hit X because I think that's technically wrong what it had selected, but it's right down here, so I don't care. But that's how you do it. Technically, these are custom currencies, which is funny. Oh yeah, there's my conversion rate, my little reminder that 50 individual coins weighs 1 pound. That's the way we were doing it. So, but if you put, you know, LB or kilogram or whatever unit of measurement as a currency, you can have it like auto tell you what it is. So, speaking of that, here's all the information we don't use that much. It's just kind of jumbly thrown in there on this sheet. On this sheet, it ain't even there. You know, I made it a lot cleaner. And I put all that shit on the info sheet. And the reason why is because in this campaign, we don't have a carry weight. Oh man, you can see all the if-then statements for the carry weight. Isn't that fun? Look at those if-then statements. Anyways, if you want carry weight, or if you have carry weight in the campaign, you need this. If you don't, and you want to leave it in because your DM might say, hey, let's reference your carry weight for like, you know, if you're asking, hey, can I push this boulder? And they're like, well, is it your carry weight like limit? And then you just, you know. So, but basically, there's a lot of if then statements. And the whole reason that there's a lot of if-then statements is because it looks down at character size. I have tiny through large. If you're medium, doesn't affect you. If you're large, you get double carry weight. Small, you get half. Tiny, you get a quarter. And then I also have size increases. I have 3. And that's just in case someone casts like enlarge on you and you have your own enlargement mechanic. Or maybe you take the feat that gives you like quote unquote enlarge so you can carry the next size up of carry weight. You know? So that's what all those if then statements are for. Otherwise, it just times your strength by the appropriate number. I believe your maximum is 30. There's also 15, and then 10, and then 5. And those are like the different degrees of carry weight. If you've never used carry weight, it's like the first set of carry weight limits is like you get reduced movement speed, and then reduced movement speed and some like disadvantages, and then it's just like once you hit the third one, you just stop moving because you're like too fat, and then you have your push pull lift capacity, which is like if you're not moving with an item, but like let's say a tree fell and you guys want to like lift it so someone can crawl underneath it, that's your like maximum of that. Now it's a very high number, mainly because I put okay, this is a spore guy. Spore guy with a 4 in strength. That makes a lot more sense. So medium character with a 4 in strength, maximum of like 500 pounds, which is crazy, and no one's doing that, you know. That's like deadlifting type of weight. But you know, then again, it is like a fantasy thing. There's also your passive shit. We don't use that really. Like if the DM really needs to, he'll be like, "Hey, what's your wisdom?" You know, and he'll just base it off of like, do you have high wisdom? Do you not have high wisdom? There's also like a charisma one in there too, but no one cares. And then I have the fucking exhaustion, and these you basically add if-then statements to your movement speed. I don't have it on this one, but if you want these to work, you basically go to another cell and tell it if this is selected that to add the penalty to your thing, or like a reminder that you have disadvantage. You know, the math is back there, but at the same time, you don't need this. Honestly, this is stuff that you and your DM just remember. You know, not a non-needed thing. So, and then you'll also see over here, I clicked on this earlier. If your character has like level things that you specifically want, I suggest doing a chart and writing them down. Not only does this look really fucking good, you know, like it's very satisfying to look at. So you can just be like, oh, you know, I'm level 6. I'll have, you know, 2 druid, 4 fighter. At that level, I had added the 4th level fighter. Took an ASI. And then I'll have 2 spells, 2 cantrips, and you know 3 level 1 spell slots. So, which really I should change these because you know cantrips should, or the spells should go between those two, but it's whatever. So also I just wrote like notes down in case I forgot something, because the spell should be increased by the wisdom thing. So I'm gonna know quite a few more spells than I can ever really cast, but it's whatever. So yeah, this page, not necessary, looks nice. I'm gonna show you something with this page though. Did I do it over here? I did. Doesn't look as nice for fucking warlocks, you know, because I didn't multi-class. I didn't have that second tab, so it just says warlock 1 through 20, which is, you know, not needed information. Like that row could just be gone, and it looks even sadder. You know, let me show you. Boom! Look how sad that looks. I mean, this section's nice. It's nice to know what you're getting. Nice to know like your spells and spell level. But I mean, compare this to this. This looks a lot nicer. Also, in case you were wondering, you can just do this to make all the rows the same size. So if you ever want to, like, you know, scooch them up a little, oh, right next to each other. Oh, that's why I didn't do that. You gotta make sure your headers are always aligned. That's why I didn't make those more squished. I guess I don't need the word level either, because that's redundant. I can just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'll know that these are that. Boom. That looks nice. I also love it when rows look uniform. Like if you want to do the thing I did earlier, where it's every other is a certain size, you can do that. Oh, it just looks so good. Something about my autism or something like that got really like fired up for, you know, O big, P small, Q big, R small. You know, I don't know what, but something got going. Anyways, let's see. What other shit haven't I talked about? List of spells. You can do zeros till when you, or I should say this again. This is nice. That tells you what like level it is of the spell, and then also write ritual behind it if it is a ritual. If you need to know what the spell is, I just look them up. You know, because you could just like copy and paste the cell into Google. But here's the thing: you could just go big brain, and how do you do it? Hyperlink. Hyperlink. I guess you could do it in a comment or a note too. What's a note look like? Did not drop it because I clicked out of it. Hello world. Oh, that doesn't. Okay. Ooh, that's not bad. Ooh, I like that. I like. You know what? You know what, you guys? I was just gonna tell you to do something stupid. Is it extensions? No, that's where you had scripts. Where the hell? Where the hell do you insert a hyperlink? I thought, oh, there it is. Link. So what the link one does is that it's like the text will be highlighted and you can click on it and it'll open up the page to it. But damn, does this not look a lot better? Hold up. Go to you. Class, we're gonna go on a little excursion. What was one of those spells I got over here in my gnome sheet? Guidance. Boom. Up here. All spells. Also, this website looks weird. It's because I have it zoomed in on specifically this website. Usually it's like here, which is nice so you can see more. But man, is it always weird to have these like R's on the side? I think it's just a lot easier to read when it's like up front like this. Guidance. Guidance. Boom. Control C. Guidance. Insert. Note. Control Shift V. Dear God, that's a lot of text. But look at that. Damn, that looks good. I like you. I like you a lot, honestly. And if you really want, there's, add D4 to ability checks. Just do a little summary at the bottom so you know what's going on. So if you don't want to like read this, I may just summarize it. I mean this is nice because it definitely reminds you range of touch, which is a lot of times forgotten. Honestly, just delete all that. There. Boom. Ah, God, that looks so good. I mean, the little scroll bar is unnecessary. If I make you a little bigger, yeah, that goes away. Oh God, it looks so good. Can I color these? Are you an option? Oh, please no. How do I color you? No. I'll come back to you. I like you. You're my new friend. That's what you are. Anyways. Damn, look how wide those are. Why did I do that? Huh. Anyways. Yeah, you can see, I mean, you can see my reaction to that. It's like, there's some things I do where it's like, those are very clearly unnecessary. Because I could just make the P slightly bigger instead of having whole new rows in there. Like, it really just clutters shit. So, also this is another thing that's like, class specific. List out the shit that you need. I'm sure that bothers someone out there in the world. Here, buddy, let me get you there. Oh, I guess that's something else I should tell you. This is where the borders are. This is like where you can align shit. I mean, a lot of the time I go to like the format section. The format has all the shit that you need for format. But over here is a nice little like hot tool. This is what like the professionals use, is up here. This is my dumbass coming up here and reading. Don't read if you don't have to. Let's see, what else is there? Spell stuff. States what my spells are. I have a box that always states other proficiencies, so I can like race. I can always list my race stuff and my languages, and if I have dark vision to where it goes to, which is actually wrong. It's 120 feet because I have the invocation. Let's see, equipment. That honestly, I think I've gone through almost everything. Don't look at this. I was questioning my man's name. I like the last name Copperlock. Nimbus though? Nibus? Nibus is what we've been calling them, but it's like, you know, kind of. Sometimes people say Nimbus, like a cloud. That's not what it is. It was Nibus. I don't know. Confusing name. I just let whatever slide. Let's see, passive shit. Oh yeah, this is in case like you add to your passive. Race. This is where like my backstory and stuff is. If you want to pause and read it, that's fine. I'm gonna go over the characters later. I don't have a class for this guy. I talked to my DM and he was like, you know what? Instead of where you have your pack thing, if you want like two, relatively non-combat invocations, you could. And I mean, until it becomes a problem, he won't stop me, which I'm always a problem for that man. That's that. Let's see, did we do anything different over here? This man fucks his shit up all the time. Like, why is it a 17, but you don't have anything written in here? And it's not invisible. Where are you writing this? Where? Oh, you motherfucker. What? This man, I gave him an exact copy of this. I don't know. I mean, you could tell it is almost the exact damn same. And this one's got math to it. You can just add fucking numbers to take damage. But no, Fancy Pants over here is like, nah, let me write over your code and end up deleting it. Because I'm just going to write in what my health is. Which at that point, why have this? If you do that, why have you left these two columns in there? Dear God. I'm going to talk to that man. That man's in trouble tomorrow. I'm also going to move his inventory like I did mine. So what this will look like later is this. I guess I could just draw. This will go up here, like on the other one. And then the coins go in. No, not in there. Not in there because that's a numbering thing. Probably like the other one where it like lists them upon the bottom. And then because there's no health and damage, put his spell scaling right there. But then where does his proficiencies go? Oh, this little fucker messing everything up. Hold up. Hold up. Oh, this asshole doesn't even have anything written in there. Oh. Oh, you bitch. Oh, why? Why do you hurt me? Anyways, I'll fix that later for him. Jesus Christ. You could at least told me that the half his screen is just used for nothing. That's fun. Definitely gonna be using this. I'm glad I found this shit on camera. Looks good. But I think that's it. I mean, besides showing you like, I have his photo. That's my little dude. And whenever I'm showing you guys like stuff later too, 9 out of 10 people will be these like dirty like greens and like browns and grays. I just like those colors, so that's what I put my characters in. So, anything else I've been missing? Since I'm just talking out loud, I don't think I have to edit this video hardly at all. I've had this up so it blocks the list of people who have access to this, so I'm not doxing myself or anyone. Unless people can see what it's named, then fuck me. I think I'm good. Oh yeah, I guess you could just see the time of day. I guess I did. Yeah, you know, I guess that was stupid. I did record my entire screen. So I mean you can see when I pull that shit up. Instead of doing that. So I don't know. If you guys got any questions, write in the comments. I'm not gonna be sarcastic about this. I will, if you guys like need help with a spreadsheet, I will help you. I'm fucking addicted to this shit. No, I'm not addicted to that though. I hate that I get a pop up every time I like click one of those every like 3 or 4 times. Anyways, I guess the last thing I gotta tell you though is I already sort of mentioned this, but like group everything by like, you know, the relative information in which it holds. There. I think I'm done. I've got the like Midwest like trying to leave syndrome going on right now where I'm like, oh, I was supposed to leave, but let me ask you about your wife's husband, sister, brother, mother, you know? Which is kind of a joke because I very much live in the countryside. But yeah. I guess I'll see you guys later.